Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined, finally, after 7 years, 7 long years, by my lovely, currently crippled, but in a new residence, and sitting next to me, co-host Alexander Volz. Say hello.
I wish the word fortnight wasn't like a cool word now, because otherwise I would say it's been a few fortnights.
It's been a couple. It's been about, what, five fortnights?
A few, yeah, 5 fortnights.
No, it's been longer. It's been about 10 fortnights. Wait, what is that, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been about 20 episodes or some. Oh my God. We did 20 fucking episodes over shitty Skype.
Almost half her catalog.
Almost half of. Okay, that toward the end there, it was really getting to me. Like just the little bits of latency that just.
Yeah, you dealt with all the bullshit. I just showed up and.
No, but I mean, like even the conversationally, like it's a lot of like you making a point and waiting a few seconds. Like, did he hear me? I hope he fucking heard me.
Oh yeah,
like,
is there a leg?
Yeah.
Okay.
There, we're back. We're here. We're together.
Back.
And what the hell? What was my intro again? This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. And today we are talking about
The Smiths.
The Smiths. So before we get into any of that, if you want to help us, support us, subscribe, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you want, or none of it at all. I do encourage you, though, to follow me on Instagram at Pope Jesse Ventura and Alex
At Mother Puncture, especially if you want to send me a housewarming gif. Hit me up.
He deserves it. He hurt his foot. He went through a long, painful move. It's very stressful. Send him women. Right now, I've been posting. He posted as well. Whatever artist we're covering that week. So if you want to, send us emails regarding that artist, tell us your picks for best and worst, whatever. Any general thoughts, you can do that. We'll read it on the pod. I got a little bit of things that a friend of mine sent me about the Smiths that I will read later on when it's relevant. But still, it's fun stuff. And as always, there should be a Spotify playlist on the Smiths, and there should be a link in the description of wherever you're listening or watching. Songs that we've picked, our favorites. There's playlists for every single goddamn episode. You could find them all at everyalbumever.com. You could even follow Alex directly on Spotify if you want to just not listen to our episodes and just listen to that.
I like to think someone does that. They're like, their opinions are garbage, but those playlists.
Hold on. Those playlists are pretty fire, dude. I mean, even when we don't like the band, we still find shit to put on there like that.
There's always a playlist.
There's always a playlist. So this is I never got so much feedback than when I posted that we were going to be covering the Smiths.
Oh shit.
People fucking love this band.
I'm gonna catch fists.
When don't you? You shit on everybody, Alex. What's wrong with you? But this is a fun one because Alex and I both grew up in the East LA area, and for anybody who doesn't know, Morrissey is beloved in East LA.
I was gonna read like a few articles about it, and even though I lived in it, but due to time restraints, I didn't.
Don't worry. I got you covered. I did a deep dive on the East LA Morrissey Smith subculture. It's fucking wild. It's so much more elaborate than I realized. Because when you grow up, you see everybody with a Smiths patch or whatever.
Before you elaborate on it, I'm going to take a few stabs at it.
Okay.
One, it's the musical equivalent of a telenovela. It is overtly dramatic for no fucking reason.
Yep.
2, I think due to the sexual ambiguity of Morrissey, I think it's easy for women and men to relate to him.
You're fucking nailing a lot of it, dude. You're nailing a lot of it. Because I like how we're just jumping straight into East LA. Like, fuck the Smiths. Hold on, why is Morrissey so goddamn popular in his communities?
I think it's an interesting subject. I once saw an all Latino Smiths cover band back in the day. So
really, you know what they're called?
Fuck. I feel really bad that I don't. I believe it was at the Orange County Fair though. So
okay. Also makes sense for some reason. So there's a few things. A friend of mine, Josh, he so kindly listened to the discography on his own.
Same Josh.
Yeah, okay. Indeed. And first thing he noted, he's like, growing up where we did, the Smiths, and it's kind of part of our part of our culture, whether we like it or not. Like, it really is, strangely. And so there's a few things. One, Morrissey is Morrissey. His name is Stephen Morrissey, but he refuses to be called Stephen.
Yes, I actually have that in my notes. In 1983 is when he demanded. He responds with hostility if you call him Stephen. And so since then, like guitarist Johnny Marr, who I like a lot. We'll talk about more, obviously. I also like Johnny Marr.
He calls him like Mansour or Maz.
Mansour.
Kind of like a pet name, whatever. And then that led to the nickname Los Angeles, because Los Angeles
and he moved over here.
It's so much so, the love for this man is so profound in this city that November 10th was deemed Morrissey Day in Los Angeles by the fucking mayor.
Makes sense.
Sure it does. Sure it makes sense and not complete fucking insanity.
Why not? Didn't he play like there was like a taco food truck festival thing, and I think he even played that.
It doesn't ring a bell, but it rings enough of a bell. Like, yeah that probably would happen. But there is like, so when I started reading about it, I was hoping to find some kind of answer, and
there's more articles than there used to be.
There's more articles. I'll get into it in a second, but like, there's also urban legends floating around. And one that I came across this is, I don't know, like months and months ago. Comedian George Perez, he was on Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christina P. Very ridiculous podcast. He's a comedian. I don't know exactly what part of LA he's from, but he's very familiar with Boyle Heights in East LA.
Okay.
He might have been from more Orange County area, but he was very familiar. This guy, if you saw him, he has the bald head. He was in prison. He's got the long socks. He's a full on cholo.
The higher the socks, the downer the foo. He
was literally in gangs. And he brought up, he's like, yeah, because, in Boyle Heights and East LA, we fucking love Morrissey. And they said, why is that? And he had this ridiculous story about how at one point Morrissey was on tour and his bus broke down in Boyle Heights. Boyle Heights, for those who don't know, is a very small subcity within East LA. I spent a lot of time there. It's gnarly, but apparently his bus broke down in Boyle Heights, and then he was quote unquote amused by all the cholos with like the slick back hair and their clothes all creased out, as he said.
Yep.
And that the girls around there started giving him a bunch of food and making him food and started giving him heroin. He's like, you know what? This is awesome. I'm gonna stay here. Hell yeah, I love these people. That story has not been corroborated by anyone else. There's no way that story is true. But that's just one example. Like, there's probably like a lot of ridiculous stories and legends about why. But I was reading some articles. There is an actual 2015 study done. I don't know which university paid for it.
ELAC?
No, it was not East LA College, but it was published by Participation's Journal of Audience and Reception Studies. So it's like a legit journal, and the conclusions were essentially what Alex already said. It's possible because of his Morrissey and the Smiths association with rockabilly. Rockabilly is heavily associated with mid 20th century Los Angeles culture, especially Mexican American culture. His vocal similarities to ranchera music is another one. The introspective, emotional, highly sexual and I guess sexually ambiguous lyrical themes as well. Even his Catholic background.
Oh yeah, the Catholic guilt. How can I forget that? That's a huge component.
It's all these things. There's no real answer, but it's just like, they all just kind of. And I'm assuming after years of it being so associated, everyone just kind of rolls into it at this point. Other people from there. Also,
I think they respect the blue collar nature of Morrissey and the like every man stories when he does dabble into that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I believe he's very well. I don't believe he's guaranteed. He's very aware of the popularity and leans the fuck into it.
Oh yeah,
I think he's quoted saying he wished he was born Mexican at one point. Sure you do, buddy. And then, so I was looking through these articles, and I stumbled onto one published by the Washington Post, and the writer there had like he'd interviewed. It was more like qualitative. He was like like 3 or 4 people he interviewed specifically, asking them questions. And then I got to the end of the article and it has like the little name and the photo of the person who wrote it. Mm-hmm. And I saw it and I said, "Oh, that's my friend." I went to fucking high school with this guy. I was really cool with this guy. His name is Javier Cabral. He's a really prolific punk enthusiast and food blogger. And I haven't spoken to him in many years, but I know he's fairly successful. And it's just like, okay, further the stereotype that everybody in East LA knows each other, because I guess we do. I was like not surprised and completely surprised. So completely surprised because I'm not expecting to fucking stumble onto someone that I literally knew personally. Mm-hmm. But not surprised because that is the second fucking time that I was at a restaurant years back. It was like a casual diner and they had a TV playing. And I usually ignore those completely, but for some reason I turned and looked at the TV, and this same motherfucker, Javier, was on the TV on some reality food channel. Like there was a whole piece on him and his family. Like, why does he keep popping up in media? Either way, it's fascinating.
Good for Javier. Good on the Washington Post for doing their homework and getting someone credible to write.
I'm going to plug him actually because I don't remember the name of his page, but I'm going to look it up right now as I'm trying to speak slowly and buy time. On Instagram, he's the Glutster, Glutster, the Glutster. He's all food and punk rock.
Because we're the ones who need to be plugging Javier, not the other way around.
Hey, man, it's just respect. I know he's not going to gain much. God damn it, Alex. You know you're fired. But
also, what else? Like, we got to talk about the East LA Morrissey Smith connection at the beginning, because there's not really a good, like between albums or after it. It's like, opening. We had to do it.
It's just, yeah, for sure. And it's like, if you're coming here, you know the Smiths already, so you have to have at least heard about this. Crazy.
Also,
go ahead.
Also, we're worldwide, baby. I like people in Germany and whoever else listens to us.
I'm glad you said that.
Cholo culture. And
actually, I'm glad you said that because I want to give a quick little shout out to Joaquin from fucking Argentina.
There we go.
I don't know how
did he request this?
Huh? He did not request this, but he's just a nice fella. He was actually pretty excited about this episode.
Okay.
But so what? Sweden, Argentina, fucking Germany. I'm glad because we're not big in America. That's for damn sure. I think we're biggest in the UK, oddly enough. But
considering how much we talk about LA and weird, like very specific LA things, that's very surprising to me.
It is. One more thing I completely forgot about the Morrissey Los Angeles fucking or East LA Association. There was a joke about it in Ant-Man and the Wasp, I believe.
Oh yeah. I've forgot what that was.
I don't know the joke, but someone just told me about it. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Of course, I'm pretty sure it came from Michael Pena. I think it was like...
Alex, you white motherfucker.
Leave me alone. I think it's when he's doing like his trademark thing he does in those movies where he's like, so I was at my cousin's barbecue and I ran into this guy who knows the guy and snowballs. And then... I think one of them has to do with like listening to Morrissey. Mm-hmm. So,
but after we got all that craziness out of the way, we might as well talk about the fucking Smiths now.
Yes.
So who are they? Who are the Smiths? Morrissey's backing band?
Yeah.
Kidding.
So they formed in 1982. Johnny Marr asked Morrissey to form a band. They got along due to their interests in poetry and literature. No shit. If you listen to those lyrics. Mm-hmm. Drummer Mike Joyce auditioned for the band while high on shrooms.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Apparently must have nailed it because he got the job.
No fucking kidding.
I thought a interesting quote, one of the producers for John Peel, a man named John Walters, not John Waters.
Right, close.
He pointed out, and it holds true to this day, unlike most bands, when you hear the Smiths, you don't know what their influences are.
That's true.
Even to this day, you're like, what the fuck were these guys listening to?
It's interesting, yeah, because I'm going to be like throwing out some keywords like gothy and The Cure-esque.
Mhm.
Like it's kind of like that, but really people,
but not really.
yeah, mostly people copied them than vice versa. It sounds like, but
I think they did copy one band on one specific song.
okay, we'll get there. So the Smiths have, well, canonically they have 4 albums, but we're going to be covering 4 albums and 1 compilation album. That's the Hatful of Hollow compilation, which came out like during their existence. So it's kind of, and it has like a lot of the really big songs.
That's the other thing I learned from the Thrash Theory YouTube channel is in England, B-sides are a big deal.
Really?
Not in America. Like
No.
a lot of English bands have like killer B-sides, and that's because it's kind of a trick. Like, okay, if you own the album, what can we do to generate sales of the single?
Mm-hmm.
So if we put a really good track, sure, you already have like the A side,
Right.
We're going to get you on that B side. But yeah, they've got some big B sides that are not on albums. Hence
That indeed. Yeah, that one you sprung that on me in like fucking last minute. I was like, oh God, it's so long. Oh my God. Oh
yeah,
God.
because I was getting towards the end. I'm like, hold on, we're missing something.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah. I knew it wasn't just going to be 4 albums. Like they have a million compilations and they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Mhm.
But I knew like at least one of them had to be like technically canon.
Yes.
So that's the one we're doing. But anyway, the first album was released in 1984. Last one was 1987. And we are going to fucking start. You got it pulled up?
Yes, I do. New phone, new couch, new everything.
Hell yeah. This is 1984, self-titled, The Smiths.
It's time to tell the tale of how you took a chance.
It's not a good opener, I don't think.
How fucking dare you, dude? I fucking love this song. Go fuck yourself, Alex.
Oh man, it's really long too, right?
It's super long. You're right. Did you lower it?
No, I didn't. Or maybe I did on it.
Right there's good.
Wait around the fountain. Slap me on the path.
So I popped this one on when I was driving. I was like, fuck, this is really well written. This is a good ass song. And I was really into it. And then I realized like I was halfway to my destination. The song was still playing. I was like, wait a minute. How the fuck is this song still going on?
It's real long. I don't like to admit it, but Morrissey is a good writer.
He is. He's got a. Well, let's just talk. Hold on, I love this. I like this progression at the end of this one right here. That's very smart to do that. To use that tail and turn it to another riff. It's very smart. I love that. Okay. All right. Let's talk about it.
So I'm gonna go curveball here. I think this is my personal favorite. This because I feel like there's a lot of weird, interesting things going on, and I never achieved that level of interest with any other album again.
Really? This one started fine for me. My interest kind of dipped in and out. But this was a solid start for me. I dig this album.
This album doesn't have hits.
Are you kidding me? This Charming Man? Are you fucking kidding me?
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Doesn't have it in like bunches. But I think there is weird stuff like or things that make me laugh. Like you brought up This Charming Man. Like the whole I remember hearing that song and just like laughing like who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
I would go out tonight.
That song is played everywhere at all times.
Yeah.
No matter fucking what.
But the lyric that got me is, but I haven't got a stitch to wear. Like, who? That's the most British shit.
That song. Okay, first of all, there's at least 2 girls that this song brings up sad memories of because every girl shows me this fucking song for some reason. And like every time I hear the Smiths played somewhere, it's this song. And on the way over here, I am at fault. I am guilty of this as well. I picked up a friend of ours who's in the room as we speak. He's off camera because he's a good boy. God damn it. I picked him up, and as he got into the car, that song was playing. I was like, I swear it's a coincidence. It's not. It's fucking always that song. It's always that song. In comedy clubs, I'll be sitting there and like, is that fucking the Smiths? But
I mean, it's that song or another song.
Yeah.
Which would be How Soon Is Now. So the second track on here, You've Got Everything Now, like threw me off. Like it sounds like the Police song or like a Police song.
It does. It does.
And then some of my favorite vocals here that make me laugh.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm doing it.
This is Miserable Eye, isn't it?
No, it's
fuck.
You've Got Everything Now.
I mean, you could have taken a pick, dude. See, that was so quick.
I'm gonna pull up Miserable Eye right now too.
Okay, so I might as well bring up Morrissey's fucking voice. Okay,
do it.
Great voice, great solid voice, good singer. Hit on this album. It's what everybody goes to when they mimic him.
Yeah. It's like comical on here though.
But here's the thing that caught me off guard. This album is the only album he sounds like that. He's a good fucking singer like everywhere else.
He reins it in after this.
Completely. However, on here, his falsetto is a fucking joke. You just put on a second of it, but that is not all we get.
All right.
We get a whole album's worth of this shit. Do it. Do it. What? You know what that sounds like?
That's a good friend King Diamond vocals right there.
Oh my god, it makes King Diamond sound good. He sounds like fucking Terry Jones from Monty Python doing the old lady voice.
Oh yeah.
It's hilarious, dude.
Or Tiny Tim. That's a good one.
Or really any member of Monty Python doing the woman voice.
Yeah. What else? Miserable Lie. It's about being with a prostitute. I don't believe Morrissey's ever slept with a prostitute.
That's one of his fucking things where he's like, I'm attracted to people, but just not often. I'm not really anything. I'm celibate for this time, but I was dating someone then, but not now.
And we'll get to this. He is hands down. I think he's a giant troll, or he's the most confused human being who's ever walked the planet.
He's a strange guy. We'll get into it more on the next album, but he's made some outlandish comments.
Yes, he has. I think Pretty Girls Makes Graves is the start of the sexual confusion that
I like
goes on throughout the career.
I think that song has great progressions. It's a good song.
I like sorry, I keep interrupting.
So I wrote this before I heard the discography, so it says so much of this band is their style, but no, it's so much of this album is this one style, and that's like the style everybody thinks of when they think of the Smiths. Mm-hmm. It's like, I was pleasantly surprised by how different the rest of the discography is compared to this. I still like it, but like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is so fucking boring and like goes on for so long.
I feel like that happens whenever he does like word vomit. I hate like 9 out of 10 of those songs when he is just fucking like layers upon layers of references. And when you're listening to it, it's not exhausting. They're able to do it in a way as pop music. But if you are sitting there with the lyrics, man, like, you know, I'll try to decipher some Rakim, some MF Doom.
Right.
I'm not going to do that with Morrissey.
Really?
Yeah. It's like probably that website Genius is good for rappers, but it's also good for the Smiths. And after a few lines, I was exhausted. I was like, I get the general. He's almost like Quentin Tarantino too, where there's all these pop culture references or references to literature throughout the songs, and you're meant to catch them and then in turn digest.
I appreciate that from a writing standpoint. I'm not going to fucking read that. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, especially because a lot of the literature he's into, this seems fucking boring.
For lack of a better term. Okay, so the things I don't like.
Okay.
They do it way worse in later albums, but they're already letting the songs go on for too long. And we were talking about that with the opening track. But it's like it's a real thing that they do, where they have like this really interesting foundation, really kind of complex structures, and then they just repeat those same structures for like 5-6 minutes. Like, dude, the song does not warrant that. It's like insane.
Again, I think that has to do when Morrissey has these really long.
That makes way more sense now.
Yeah.
It makes way more sense that he has so much lyrics that they have to make the song longer.
I mean, it's funny because they do have a lot of songs where the lyrics are real simple. They're straight to the point.
I mean, they do have short songs too.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like you can reel it in. It's not like you don't know what sounds good. It's just like, I think that makes so much more sense now. No, he just wrote more lyrics. So therefore, that's so fucking sloppy to me. As a guy who just likes the sounds of music.
Sure.
It's so fucking sloppy. I think I Don't Owe You Anything. Not for me. Anytime they get too on the happier side, I'm always just like, I just check the fuck out.
I feel like we talked about them being overtly dramatic, though. Yeah. I feel like sometimes it ventures, and I think that's the point. It ventures into like comical or satirical. I think the another reason I'm giving this personal favorite, because I've never listened to albums. I know the hits.
Yeah.
First song I liked on here that wasn't like a hit. What Difference Does It Make? I think that is a great song.
It's a great song. That one and Still Ill, fucking bangers, dude.
I think I gotta go back to that Still Ill because
I dig it a lot. I mean, What Difference Does It Make? Obviously, as well. This one has great songs all around, and it's just really the really what's the word? How easy it is to mimic Morrissey on this album. Like, you can't really mimic him so easily. Like on every other album, it's just like you can't really mock that. It's just really well done vocals. Here it's like, oh, he's hamming it up.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously the falsetto stuff is abysmal. My buddy Josh, who sent some thoughts in, made me laugh because he did not like this album at all. He fucking did not like this album. He says, first off, he said, I now have more respect for what you guys are doing. Listen to a discography that you're not interested in at the moment is tough. Thank you. It's not easy, but I mean, we chose this life. He says, the first album is so hard to sit through. I listen on my way to and from work because it all sounds the same to me, instrumentally and vocally. I think this was by far his least favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, I will say I think all their albums are genuinely loved though. Yeah, so there's no good way to do this with
there isn't. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention is that I found this more so than a lot of episodes. I kind of felt this one Thin Lizzy. I don't feel like any of these albums are the best or the worst. I feel like these are all just personal favorite and least favorite because like they're all as good as each other. You can make an argument for all of them going one way or the other.
That's fair because I did have for a band that I don't like, I did have problems doling out the accolades.
It's very much like Thin Lizzy, where it's like even the one that I really like still has some stinkers on there and vice versa. You know, still some great ones on an album I genuinely didn't like. But Alex's personal favorite, generally beloved. I hear this the most when I hear the Smiths, both what comes to mind and literally what comes on in stores in public. But now we're going to move on. Should we do the compilation next or last?
Next.
Okay.
Because it came out the same year, I believe.
Same year. This is the the compilation full of B-sides, a lot of John Peel sessions from, songs from the first album, whatever. We'll get into it. This is 1984's Hatful of Hollow.
It's not a bad bass line there.
No. Actually, I keep forgetting to fucking mention, what's his goddamn Andy Rourke? That dude's fucking awesome. That bass player?
Yeah. They have a underrated rhythm section.
Hell yes.
And everybody's got to live their life, and God knows I've got to live mine. God knows.
So this is one of the more famous songs, right?
Yeah, this was the A-side, and then How Soon Is Now was the B-side to this.
This one is better. I love this song. It's a great song.
I chuckled when he says, I don't dream about anyone except for myself.
Dude, I respect the fuck out of that.
That's
Holy shit, do I like Morrissey? I think I like him.
That's Sitting in Silence. That's John Bauer's line.
My buddy John Bauer. Say hi, John.
Okay, we almost listened to this whole song.
Okay. All right. What do you got for this album? Or comp, whatever.
It's a fun compilation. You can kind of skip over, the songs we heard previously.
A lot of John Peel stuff.
Yeah, but we're here for two songs, really.
Yeah.
How Soon Is Now, which is not only an anomaly of a song in the 80s, but like an anomaly of a song in the Smiths' career.
Anomaly. You know what I wrote for that? I wrote that song is the most 90s, 80s song ever. I've heard that song more in the 90s than ever before.
I love it to this day. There's so many like contradictions to it. It's one of the sexiest songs ever from one of the least sexy people ever.
How dare you? He's a fucking very sexual man.
Or so he says, whatever.
I really don't like that song. It's so fucking long, man. It's just...
You're wrong. You're wrong. It's like... How dare you? It's the greatest, and I say this as someone who doesn't even like the band this much, it has to be the greatest B-side ever.
Ever? Hold on, what are the B-sides are there?
I don't know.
Like Sparks has some pretty good ones. I don't know, man. I'm gonna challenge you on that one.
Yeah, that's my point, though. Like, has to be the most like played B-side ever.
Oh, for sure it is the most played. Yeah, because that's a prominent ass song.
And then the other one we're here for. Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now. I wrote that. See, I didn't know that was super famous. I don't care for it, but yeah.
I said it was dreadful. I fucking do not like that song.
Ironically, right? Now you're miserable after you listen to it.
I was going to write that, but I felt it was a little too on the nose. It's also because I wrote this version is still ill. It's still pretty ill. Sorry. I really is Night Has Opened My Eyes. That's a B-side, right? Night Has Opened My Eyes.
I believe so.
I love that song.
I realize if I like Smith's songs, it's because it will be 90% because of Johnny Marr's playing, and that is one of them.
Yeah.
I really like his guitar playing on that.
He's real good. And also one thing about, so a lot of this, so much John Peel on here. As much as I love John Peel and his recording style, I don't think it's very good for the Smiths.
It might not be.
Because I keep going back to what my original bias is of what I think of the Smith is, and it's super 80s sounding, heavy reverb on the snare, very The Cure-esque, a lot of Johnny Marr's guitar is super, super bright, almost shiny bright. And then John Peel is live in the room with you, very little reverb, and what reverb there is, it's studio reverb, so it's like, it's very small. And while I don't think that's great for the Smiths, it highlights the shit out of Johnny Marr. Like, this version is Still Ill is great because of, man, he's right in the front. It's all Johnny there. That song is all Johnny. I think it sounds really cool. And it really does, like, yeah, this guy was the heart of this fucking band. Yeah, it's a lot of Morrissey doing his, but Johnny, that guitar style, it's not overly rockabilly, but it's like rockabilly with some sadness, with a little bit of fucking gothiness in there. It's sexy, dude.
when I started like dissecting him a little bit as a guitar player and realized there was something more to him, was going to watch the Inception, and just like that soundtrack made me feel a certain way. And
that was Zimmer, right?
It's Zimmer and Johnny Marr.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then I was like, whoa. I had the same reaction Mike did, actually.
Holy shit.
And there's like, I think you could YouTube footage of Zimmer and Marr like doing songs from the soundtrack. And I was like, okay, his brain is obviously working in a different way than I assumed it did based on my very limited knowledge of the Smiths. So
has he done any other movie scores?
He might have. Not like off the top of my head, but after, hearing that soundtrack, I started realizing this man's brain is
better.
Yes.
Yeah, it's better. It's for sure better than most of ours.
And then Accept Yourself. Nothing ironic about that song, right?
Or you mean subtle? Or
because Morrissey obviously doesn't accept him.
I don't think obviously. I think that dude, he's either doing that or he's not, or he's the most evolved guy in the world and he's fucking with the entire world. I don't believe either one of them. I don't believe either one. Our buddy John is vigorously shaking his head no off camera. I think he's a smart guy, but he's so fucking weird and he's so goddamn opinionated, and his opinions seem to be shifting like every other year.
Yeah, he's so opinionated that by the time he drops an opinion, it's contradictive to like something he said 5 minutes ago.
The thing is, I don't mind the opinions changing because that's what we're supposed to do. They're supposed to learn and change and stuff. And if we're the same person as we were 10 years ago, that's probably not great. But he's just so fucking vocal. He's just such an asshole about it. Like, he's such an asshole about every opinion. It's like, I don't care what you believe. Just don't yell at me for it. Like,
I feel like we're kind of jumping the gun here.
Yeah, we'll get to it
because it's more obvious on the next album.
It is. But before we wrap this up, this entire comp seems like, man, we really like that first album. Give us more of the first album, literally with the same songs, and then also with all the other B-sides that are, obviously the same style, the same vocals. I mean, Morrissey is doing the shit out of his early Morrissey stuff on here. Mm-hmm. If you're like a hardcore fan of the first album, this is check this one out. Otherwise, it's fine.
Or if you just like the Charmed theme song, check out this.
Or if you just like the Charmed, fuck, god damn it, Alex, I didn't realize that.
I don't know how you. Sorry,
I was wondering
I'm hung up on how you don't like that song, but we can move on.
It's just so long. Okay,
I would think I should look up live performances of that song because it seems like a very difficult song to replicate live back in the day.
Oh, that guitar line is it's not sampled, but it sounds sampled.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. But anyway, let us move on to the second actual album. It says 1985's Meat is Murder. And we're back to have the shiny, bright guitars.
Yes, I think this is I think they suck with opening songs.
I don't mind this one. I don't think it's like gonna turn anybody. But those opening chords are weird and odd and they almost sound out of tune. Mm-hmm. And that's like the only song in their entire catalog that sounds like that. So I appreciate it for that. Other than that, though, I'll just let it play.
So much more reined in.
He sounds relaxed. He sounds calm. He sounds fucking awesome. God damn. Okay. Oh, that's a great progression right there. Okay, let's talk.
For how iconic the album cover is, I thought I'd have stronger feelings about this album. but it's just kind of there. And I went back and forth on my second listens. No accolades. Just a lot of mixed emotions, much like Morrissey has.
About everything.
Yeah. And then going back to what we were talking about earlier, he's very like anti Margaret Thatcher, but also currently supports like far right. And it's like
seem to have taken a bit of a jump. Also, by the way, worst album. But
I'm not mad at that. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, how do you hate Thatcher, but you support far right movements? But whatever. That's
this guy Morrissey. This guy.
It's very confusing, but you know, I guess he's at the end of the day. For most people, like you can agree with him on some issues and other issues, you're just like, fuck you, dude.
Because like he's like a very vocal supporter of minority groups and all that stuff, but he's also in support of like super right wing stuff. It's like I totally condone having a foot in both ponds, but once again, the way he's doing it is so extreme and so like a dick about everything. It's like that doesn't line up. Wait, what? What the fuck do you believe, dude? And I don't give a shit about his beliefs, but like, I think Nick Cave had the best response.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Nick Cave responded to it by saying exactly what everyone should be saying, was like, yeah, he's saying some crazy shit. It's pretty stupid. I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to stop listening to his music. Like he still gave us some great music. Like I don't see why that has to do with anything. Like he sucks, I guess, but fuck it, some good ass songs.
Yeah, he hasn't like taken like any like severe action, so he's not.
However,
the music on here, yeah, let's.
So the title of this album is "Meat Is Murder."
Yes,
and the title track, "Meat Is Murder," it's like, okay, dude, we get it. You don't eat meat. It's a good fucking song. It's a good,
amazing song.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. It's like,
so good. So good.
It's so fucking like I wanted to hate it so bad. I was like
towards the end, I wasn't in the best of moods, but man, the interplay between the guitar and the piano on that track.
Yeah.
And that's a track where you realize Johnny is a genius too.
And to touch on the lyrical themes, it's not vague. There's no dancing around. I like his clever writing. He's got good wordplay, but it's just talking about how meat is murder. And like, I got nothing against people, vegetarians and all that, and vegans and all that shit. But he's gone on record saying that eating meat is the same as pedophilia, which is like,
yeah, that's
buddy. Hey, buddy, I don't think it is. But okay.
Also, I didn't bring it up on the first album. A lot of those songs got flack and were accused of being like pro pedophilia. So, as someone who like got a bunch of shit, you would think he'd cool it.
Yeah.
With that. Also, these days, you know, that's like everyone's favorite topic.
Yeah, it feels like that shit is running, dude. It's making the rounds, man.
Dude, that's a different podcast.
Yeah.
So a song I don't like. Well, I wonder. This feels like, I guess
I like it. I think it's a strong ballad.
I feel like it's a wussy Joy Division song, which is funny because Joy Division's already for wusses.
Joy Division is indeed for wusses. Episode. Oh fuck! What episode was that? I'm looking up right now. That is tickling the room right now. But 37, episode 37, Joy Division. A lot of the Smith stuff is like a wussier Joy Division, because Joy Division pounds your soul into oblivion. That's what
Joy Division does. Yeah. They're wusses, but they have an edge to them.
Very, very upsetting edge. So much of this, I was saying it earlier that, you know, every album has at least a few stinkers, even like the ones I like a lot. This one had the most that I couldn't ignore. Like
what don't you like?
Rush Home Ruffians.
Oh,
is so fucking, it drags and drags and drags, and it's so goddamn annoying. And it's just like the same two parts repeatedly for like, how long is that fucking song? Fucking 5 minutes.
You would think a song about ruffians would be cool.
More ruffian. Yeah. What she said is basically one giant drum fill. I think the drums are badass in there, but the song itself, not for me.
That's the most rockin' Smith song.
The joke isn't funny anymore, gets old about a minute in, and stays there for the remaining 5 fucking minutes.
That's a band I feel like they borrowed from that specifically. That song is very Cocteau Twins.
Cocteau Twins, really.
Yeah, I was thinking about them, and I was like, well, are they of the same era? And they kind of are, but the Twins came first, and they had a few albums.
Yeah, Twins came first, and they'd already moved on styles by the time this was around.
Yes, most definitely.
It's goddamn, that song is just so fucking long. And
a song I want to hate due to the length, but fuck it, I really enjoy.
Don't say it.
Barbarians. You didn't even let.
I know.
It begins at home.
Barbarism Begins at Home is the most hilarious, overly long, funky horseshit.
Love it.
What? Put that bitch on. No. Fuck. How could you?
I love that song. That is a fun song.
It's so long. It's like 6 minutes, isn't it?
Johnny Marr was previously in a funk band.
Really?
And so, like, the song isn't that out of character. For the band it is, but if you know what. Dude. Oh.
So, don't you get the thumbs up, goddammit, John. So, this is fine. But it doesn't do anything else. It's like 5-6 minutes of this.
I was like, goddamn, I like that a lot. Looked at the track time. I was like, that might be a problem. But by the time it ended, I'm like, I'm good with it.
No problems here. Here. All right. This is where I felt like they didn't know how to end a song. But based on the Morrissey's lyrics, it seems like maybe he just wrote a lot of lyrics this time around, because every song is at least a couple minutes too long. It's the longest fucking 40 minutes I've ever had to sit. That's not true. The longest 40 minutes of this discography I ever had to sit through.
Oh, I disagree.
I didn't. I mean, and it also felt like a huge step down from the first one. The sound is like the style. It's similar to the first one. It's less dramatic. It's less. I don't want to say punky because they're never that punky, but and it's a lot more subdued, not just in Morrissey's vocals, but just kind of everything. So the style doesn't feel that novel anymore. It got very samey for me. It's just the fact that every song felt like it was at least a minute or two too long. It just over the course of the entire thing, like even though it ended with the title track, which is a fucking strong end, too much shit in the middle.
Yeah, a lot of these songs or albums on the first listen, they this passed me by. So it's a very interesting band to me that they're so beloved and fawned over, because outside of the singles, nothing really like boom, I'm in.
I disagree. I found some boomers.
Okay.
Some things that fucking grabbed me.
I mean, the title track.
Title track here is like the only. Yeah. Also, I like I Want the One I Can't Have. I dig that one a lot. Very emotional. Very awesome.
Of course it is.
But other than that, yeah, this one again, it's not even like an obvious worst to me. It's just like, there were just more on here that I didn't care for. But it's a weird band. Like, I don't get why they're so beloved. They're consistently good, but so are a lot of bands that aren't beloved. Like, I don't get this one. Well, anyway, let's move on. My worst, and that's about it. So now we're on to 1986's The Queen is Dead.
I didn't like this track the first few times. I love it now for some reason.
Love it.
Maybe love's a strong word, but...
Okay, I shouldn't have asked. I shouldn't have tried.
It's all the emotions. All the pent-up emotions.
Fucking covered in wires here.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Not going nowhere. I like those chord changes. It's very, very ugly.
Also, we're not going to play the whole thing, but man, when this song ends, gone on quite the journey.
Oh, yeah.
I said, Charles, don't you ever crave to appear on the front of the Daily Mail, dressed in your mother's bridal veil. And so I checked all the registered historical facts.
So yeah. Great.
Solid opener.
I think it's a solid opener, but it's my least favorite.
Least favorite.
I mean, I gave it least favorite because there is some good songwriting on here, but it just doesn't really. I listened to this like 3 or 4 times. Doesn't really.
Yeah,
I kept waiting for it. Like, oh, maybe on this listen. And who knows? Maybe like 5 years from now, it'll click. But as of right now,
yeah, this good album, not for me. I appreciate the direction they're going. It is a different band essentially from the first album. More obviously closer to the second album, but still, it's like, oh, they're pretty much just pop now.
Yeah, and the things you were saying about the previous album is how I felt here. There is really wordy, exhausting songs.
Yeah.
I know it's over. The irony that it's called that and that it feels like an eternity.
I like that one. It's so... Here's the thing. I totally get the fucking East LA oldies association with that one. Put on something like that. It's so oldies. I think it's a great ballad, though. How long is that guy? How long is that song?
I probably wouldn't mind it if it was shorter and less wordy, but here we go. Yeah, it's like 6 minutes.
I like this. I like how fucking subdued it is.
The amount of times you've thrown R&B or like old school
R&B, yeah.
But you're like, it works for like Suicide or... Not the Misfits, though. Fuck the Misfits doing this.
I like the Misfits doing it in the very, very early Misfits.
Oh, Danzig.
Danzig Misfits, yeah. This is so oldies.
It's exhausting to me.
It's exhausting to Alex. What I like about it is how bass and vocal heavy it is. And it's produced in a way that's very, echoey. It's like, I'm not used to hearing that kind of ballad produced that way, and it feels very modern to me. I like that a lot.
I will say afterwards, Never Had No One Ever, despite the title, real refreshing because it's just nice, simple, and clean.
Which one is that? Put that one on. Refresh my memory.
It's like, I think I know it's over, so blown out, and then it's like, okay, this is a great palate cleanser.
I think I felt the complete opposite you did.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think the complete opposite. I felt this was the worst one, and the other one was the palate cleanser, but you know what I mean.
This is, okay. This is 4 minutes long. It's
okay. Lengthwise, I'll give you that.
It's less wordy. It's just...
It feels so much more samey to me, though. Like the sappy, either full-on sappy or we're going to cry for an hour. At least the ballad had more of like, oh, now they're doing oldies. I literally latch onto any kind of variation I can with an album like this, which I didn't care for the most part.
So I thought I was in the clear, but then, man, Cemetery Gates.
Cemetery Gates.
Oh, Cemetery Gates.
I thought it was just his accent, but it's he literally removed an E from there, so it's symmetry.
Yeah.
Is that a fucking dialect thing?
No, it's he said he just always had trouble spelling it, and this thought like
so that was a Morrissey thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I'm just gonna keep it that way. But man, just more blown out, real wordy, lots of references. It's funny because I like, I bought up rappers like MF Doom or our year-end episode. I bought up, Aesop Rock, how thick those lyrics are.
Yeah.
But when Morrissey does it,
not for you.
Not for me.
I don't like that song at all. I really do not.
I think
like that song.
I think one of my favorite Smith songs is on here though. Big Mouth.
I didn't note that one either. Which one's that?
I don't even got
choking on your own anger.
I don't even got words. Morrissey took all the words. think the guitar.
Yeah.
I think the guitar is real cool. I think the high-pitched vocals in the background are real cool.
So one thing I noted about this, I didn't note it by name, but I noted this. Big emphasis on the acoustic guitars in this album, obviously, and this style of acoustic, I just don't care for the style of watch out.
Wait, sorry. Can we get it? I want to get those high-pitched vocals.
Okay.
To point out, like, because to me, that's what does it.
Oh, really interesting.
I think that's real fucking cool and seals the deal on the song for me.
It's not a deal stealer for me. I do like them though.
Obviously, I think
they work oddly.
Yeah, I wish they experimented more with stuff like that, or like the guitar effects.
They do, yeah, very little, a little bit of that vocal stuff, but like on the next album a little bit, but that's basically it. They don't do a whole lot of that.
And then the panty wetter and all panty wetters. There's a light that never goes out. If you're on a date with a Latina, you bring her home. You throw that song on. You got a bowl of hot Cheetos. The deal is sealed.
Fuck, dude. What I was originally saying about the acoustic guitar is that really fast strum acoustic guitar. It's like objectively cool. It's good and it sounds great in this album. Personally, not for me. That's what I felt a lot about this album. It's like they're doing a bunch of things and styles, and they're presenting these songs in a way that is not bad at all. I just never care for any of that. It's just not my cup of tea.
I haven't talked about it at the length I wanted to, but another, like, I think the Smiths are funny sometimes, and I don't know if it's like an intentional funny. But another one of the first songs I heard from them where I was like, people take this band seriously. Some girls are bigger than others. It's true. It's true.
It's damn true, dude.
But it's just like, some girls, mothers. Oh, I'm butchering it, but it's like, I think the lyrics are this stupid.
They're hilarious.
Yeah.
They're funny. I don't know. I couldn't tell if it was a joke song or not.
It wasn't supposed to be a joke song. It's one of like Johnny Marr, one of his favorite compositions. And he said he gave it to Morrissey expecting one of the like more wordy lyrical things that he does. And
he just came up with this fucking fat girl song.
It's actually not about fat girls. I don't know if I think it's like Cockney slang. They call boobs mothers.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a weird.
So it's about boobs. I mean, it's still about.
It's still stupid.
Yeah.
It's still about big girls, really.
Yeah, and more Morrissey. I'm above sex. So.
Interesting. Actually, I mean, I did like the song, the music part of it, but did someone fuck up the levels in the beginning of that? It starts out going up and down. Put it on because it's so fucking. I don't know if it's an accident or if it was always like that, but
yeah. I totally forgot about it.
Keep in mind when he puts it on, I'm not fucking with the levels at all. This is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a weird choice.
That's all this right now. That's on the recording.
Yes, that is how you will hear it.
It fades in, fades out, and fades right back in over the course of like 10 seconds. I don't know why. It's weird, but I do like the song. Aside from all of that and the ridiculousness of the lyrics, I do like that song a lot.
I mean, I like silly songs, but I don't know. I just think that one's kind of stupid.
But it's silly and hokey, but I do like, frankly, Mr. Shankly a lot.
Yeah, that's addressing them becoming more famous and Morrissey's. That's another reason I think he might not be a well-adjusted human being, obviously.
What would give you that idea? Was it the pedophilia is equated to eating meat?
No. It's on other songs too, but he very much does not like the future. It's something he does not look forward to. And
Who does, am I right?
It's not a healthy way to go about life. I'm just going to say that right now. I think instinctually, knee-jerk reaction, most people don't. But you don't have to live your life that way.
God damn, that was beautiful. That's true.
Thank you.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, you should.
Because I'm gonna because I haven't got a Wu-Tang reference in a while. Something I heard the RZA say that was very beautiful is a lot of people like to talk about the good old days. Well, fuck, you're ruining someone's good old, like if you're around kids and, you know, young adults, you're ruining someone's good old days by talking about
your good old days. Yeah. That's a good point. Future isn't something to be scared of unless you're doing the wrong things you know you shouldn't be doing, or you're not doing things you know you should be doing.
I think as humans and a knee-jerk reaction, I think it's a very like natural.
It is.
thing.
Also, I mean, death is in the future for all of us.
Yes. So that's primarily why. But
we should all be preparing for death. You have a will written out?
I do not.
I think you should. I think we all should. Everyone in this room, just write out just a very vague list of things, because you never know. We can just fucking get stabbed by someone, hit by a car. Anything can happen.
I think it's very much an American thing. They talk about how unhealthy our relationship with death is on that Netflix show, the Midnight Gospel.
Oh yeah,
there's a few episodes where they talk about how unhealthy it is, that the way we deal with death. And not that
brilliant show.
Yeah, not that everything they say is fact on there. It's very much it's philosophical.
It's derived from an actual podcast with Duncan Trussell.
Yeah. So I wasn't expecting to talk about that on this podcast, but here we are.
I'm just saying, everyone listening, maybe a piece of paper with your passwords, so people. I mean, if you delete your shit first, but also like passwords so people can get into and like say goodbye to other people through your stuff. You know, social media is important. It's way more important than it should be, I think. But prepare. Never know. Fucking dark, but let's move on to the last album. Here we are.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. This is my job. It's been.
God damn it, Alex.
Okay.
This is 1987's last album, Strangeways, Here We Come.
That's a cool album title name.
I don't. What does it mean? Strangeways.
Strangeways, for some reason, is the name of a prison in England. They changed the name of it, but like, man, that sounds like, like Arkham Asylum or something.
It does. It's a good name. Also, this song is fucking amazing. I fucking love this song so much.
It's a weird song. They're tapping into some psychedelia.
Yep.
But you got these like jaunty upbeats here.
That chorus is one of the most fucking badass metal things I've ever done. Not metal, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Great vocal performance too. He's doing a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Some songs here is like Mar really stretching his wings and evolving, but also worse.
Best personal favorite. Go fuck yourself, Alex.
There are.
Did you not give a best?
Huh?
Did you not give a best?
Oh wait,
you didn't give a best.
Oh shit! I fucked up, people.
Holy shit! Alex didn't pick a best, people.
Sorry. I thought I had that written down. I'm gonna go Meat is Murder then.
to conflict with me, you're gonna go Meat is Murder best. I don't believe it. I don't believe his picks at all, people. I don't believe him at all. This album is fucking great.
Meat is Murder, I think, has some more songs that I like than others, but and some are bigger than others. But going back to what you said, it's very difficult. I think there's stinkers on all of them. It's very difficult. Obviously, I fucked up and didn't even write down. I have all my accolades here. To me, it's just this has less songs I would revisit, but there's some real good songs on here. Death of a Disco Dancer.
Oh,
dude.
I think it's too long and repetitive, but I still like it. That's how strong I think that song is.
I was thinking this like a Bond theme, and then I looked it up, and
it is
Johnny Marr. No, it's not. It's like Goldfinger on a bad acid trip. I'm like, I wouldn't throw acid into the mix, but I agree it's like a distorted Bond theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one that
you better say it.
Last Night I Dreamed That Somebody Loved Me.
That song is fucking incredible. God damn.
Yep. That is an amazing song. Also a favorite of Andre 3000 of Outkast. So that's how you know it's good.
Dude,
yeah, I dig this, the production, the rate, everything on those two songs.
That intro is lengthy. It is like this fucking gothic ass dramatic piano, solo piano, all kinds of shit in the background, soundscapes. And then when it kicks up, when the song actually starts, I was totally expecting to be let down because of like how blown out the intro is. Man, that writing is strong. That's an interesting song. Really well written. Fucking beautiful.
Usually I try to, before we talk about our feelings I try to lay some background for it. So this was released after Moore had disbanded the group. And in this album, he wanted to make more of an effort to move away from that jingly Smith sound that they're so famous for. Yeah. Yeah, and they did.
Apparently that's what does it for me.
But yeah, him and Morrissey, button heads. They're the two main writers of the group. And they just blew up here. And
so what I noted was that this is not a no-brainer best. Like we've been commenting on it. Like it wasn't super hard for me to pick a best because the songs that I love on here, I feel are just so much better than every other, like in their entire catalog. Like it's not very Smithsy. It's not very, poppy or fun, but there's just more interesting. The arrangements in the last album were really good, but here it's better presentation, better arrangements, but also the writing is a little bit more interesting. It's like, it's just a hair more interesting. It just hits a part of me just a little bit better. Like again, I didn't find myself loving or hating any one album, but
nothing. Another reason it was hard, like I don't love it, and nothing really offends me or gets me angry the way like a Simon and Garfunkel does. So that's another reason. Like if I was in the car and someone threw on any of these albums, I wouldn't be like, you got to turn that shit off. I'd just be like, it's on.
It'd be fine. I mean, the only song I kind of can't stand on here is Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before. And that's just for the same reasons I don't like a lot of their songs. It does one little thing and then does it for a long time.
That song is kind of similar with, what was that song you hate?
Which?
Oh, the joke isn't funny anymore.
Yeah.
Lyrically, it's kind of the same. It's just a simple thing repeated.
Unhappy Birthday. I don't think it's super great, but I just don't mind it. It's okay for me. Like again, it's not like any of these are super bad or super good. It's just like these just happen to gel with me more. Like that's what I said. Like this feels more like this entire episode feels more like a personal favorite, least favorite thing than any, because I don't think this is supremely better than the first album. I just like it more. And that's how I feel about pretty much the whole discography. It's just, I just dig this a little bit more. It's a weird band. It's just,
it's super weird. We've covered a lot of niche bands before, but if they weren't insanely successful, I would think this is one of the most niche bands ever.
Yeah.
But they're not, and they're
huge.
It's bizarre.
It is very odd. Like I don't have strong feelings one way or the other, which I feel like will automatically get us hate because we don't feel strongly. Like I don't know where the strong feelings come from. They're good, but
I think it's the repeated listens, like dissecting the lyrics and then figuring, consuming what Morrissey likes or what Johnny Marr likes, because there's a few videos where he'll explain riffs and he references, other riffs like Hendrix or surprisingly like Bo Diddley, which you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah.
Or even some rap songs. And it's just like, it's meant to be dissected like that. And if you aren't dissecting it, if you're not in love with it the way Morrissey loves himself, then
allegedly, or maybe not allegedly, who the fuck knows? So what I didn't touch on it too much, but like this one is pretty gothy. I'd say, especially compared to the early stuff.
Really? You think it's more gothy than Queen is Dead?
I think it's as, if not more. And I just, it's not that I'm a huge goth guy, but it's pretty good. I like that.
Okay. Okay.
And I feel like the reason why I ended up getting this best is because like overall, It has just the right amount of sappy, sad, dark, and also it has two of my favorite songs of all time from the Smiths. And also, it's like the shortest album.
There you go.
And there it is. And that's like, it's the perfect for one cohesive, like if you're not going to go compilation or greatest hits, because I feel like they are like the Police in that sense. They're very much a greatest hits band.
I think it depends on the type of person you are. For me and you, they're totally like a greatest hits band. Right. But like if you really connect with these songs, then probably they're an album band for sure.
But if I had to pick one cohesive package where it has the most things I like on it, it is definitely this one. And Alex feels the opposite.
As an outsider, this one feels like the most, like the least talked about.
I didn't know that, but when I first heard it, I felt that. I was like, this doesn't sound anything like the rest. I like it the most. It feels the most dark, the most both the most dark and the most well-rounded out of all of them. I didn't feel like the emotion of it was grating on me too much. So, and that probably has something to do with how short it is as well. But I'd say a solid end to a pretty decent discography, although I still don't understand the fucking love. I still think they're really overrated, but I found myself really, really liking a lot of it.
To let the listeners, and how confusing this was for me, and I think this is Morrissey's personality rubbing off on me, is I did have Meat is Murder as my worst for a bit.
Really?
Like
really?
How, I guess, neutral I am about all the albums.
That's actually kind of encouraging. Like,
yeah,
I mean, again, probably getting hate for being neutral, but go fuck yourself, dude. Like, they're good. We're saying they're good, but it's like, man, it's like, I'll never understand why this is the band that every girl puts on when they get in the car with me. Like this one, huh?
For
what are we missing, John? What are we missing?
You got any Sucias coming over? Any Latinas?
We do not have any Sucias nor Latinas coming over.
40 ounces on deck?
No 40 ounces on deck. Okay, then we're missing a lot.
In the future, I might. Yeah, so I guess we'll talk a little about, like, they broke up.
Okay, yeah.
And Morrissey is still huge. Did 13 albums. Johnny Marr, very prolific, active, brief stint in Modest Mouse.
Really?
The other two guys.
What's Andy Rourke up to?
Him and him and Joyce were actually backing members in Sinead O'Connor for a quick second.
Really?
So they're real good. They're all real good musicians.
I mean, how do you not get work when you were in the fucking Smiths? Like,
yes,
of course they're gonna. Yeah,
I actually found out. Look up the band Electric. I think it's Johnny Marr and the guys from Joy Division. I want to do that band on a future podcast.
Ooh.
Because to me, it's the best element of the Smiths with Joy Division. So that's a band I would like to cover.
It's not an easy band to Google.
No, it's not.
They're just called Electric?
Yeah. Or is it Electricity?
Maybe Electricity.
What if you do Electricity, Johnny Marr? Like, yeah, so there's plenty. If you are a
Electric Picnic?
Hold on.
That's what it looks like.
Hold up. Wait a minute. So there's plenty to.
Wait,
electronic. My bad.
Electronic Picnic sounds like a festival.
Yeah, it's Bernard Sumner and Johnny Marr. Like, that's got to be amazing, right?
How the fuck is this so hard to Google? Here we go.
Like, it's got to be dope.
Oh, interesting.
If that band sucks, you guys are going to hear all about it.
That's a short discography. I want to do that. That sounds very good. Fuck, man, we just got totally sidetracked, but I'm excited for that. But yeah, everyone seems to be doing just fine. And East LA is stronger than ever with their love of Morrissey and the Smiths. But let's recap what you got.
So, personal favorite, the Smiths. There's a lot of things that make me chuckle on there. So that's why that got that Best last minute call. Meat is Murder. On the playlist, I'm assuming all the Meat is Murder tracks will be from me.
That's not true, but possibly.
Most of them. Queen is Dead, least favorite. And worst, Strangeways. Here we come. All I did, beginning of their career.
You have a pick for every single album.
Yes, every single album. That's all I did. I started off as this podcast as someone who felt like I didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
But man, if you're neutral about this band, it's kind of hard to pick. Like,
yeah, a lot of feelings come up. Like, I may hate this, but it doesn't mean it's the worst. I
feel like it's in the spirit of Morrissey. So
indeed, Meat is Murder. That is what I think is the worst. I eat meat, and I am not a pedophile. All right, I'm on record as saying that. I'm assuming Alex agrees, except for the fact that he thinks it's the best album, which I think he's crazy. Strangeways, Here We Come. Best. Personal favorite. It's the weirdest. I like it. Shoot me. But having said all that, thank you so much for listening and watching. If you want to support us, subscribe. For the love of God, please subscribe. We're getting weird numbers lately. Subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, fucking, whatever.
Someone please watch other episodes outside of the Neutral Milk Hotel episode.
Please.
No.
Please. And if you want to follow me on Instagram at Pope Joseph Ventura and Alex at
Mother Puncture.
You can find out who we're covering currently. There is we're out of backlog at the moment. So we're going to have to do something.
We're going to have to do 2 a week episodes.
Pretty much. You can email us at every album ever if you want to, send your thoughts on that artist, or if you want to suggest an artist for us to cover. You can do all of that. Spotify playlist there should be a link in the description of wherever you're listening and watching, full of our favorite Smith songs, and probably some of yours. Or if you like the Smiths, you probably could skip that because you've heard them all already. But all right, got all that out of the way. Final song.
You want last song?
Sure. I didn't think about that. But it's an easy choice.
What are we doing?
We are doing Last Night I Dreamt That Somebody Loved Me. Hell.
God damn.
It's a beefy one, but it's an amazing song. So thank you so much for listening and watching, everybody. See ya.